welcome. Today we are going to be doing a 10-minute yoga flow, which is a great one to do as a cool down, perhaps after a bit more intense work such as a HIIT, or just to do on a day when you're resting well and maybe don't have as much time to do a longer yoga class or yoga session. So today we're going to be working together for about 10 minutes and really focusing on stretching out through the legs and the hips and doing some really grounding postures. And one of the things that will be really helpful is to use your breath through these movements. The mantra for this little flow is steady breath, steady mind. So when we can really connect to our breath and steady and slow it down, it can be so helpful for steadying and calming the nervous system, the mind, and really getting us present in the now instead of starting to worry about the future, which we can tend to go into, or dwelling on the past. It really helps us be connecting to that breath to be really present right now, and when we can slow it down and steady it, and on this time in this flow, connecting it to our movement, it will really be a useful tool for steadying your mind. So it's a great practice just for 10 minutes. Really connect the breath with the movement, slowing down the breath, turning on that parasympathetic nervous system rest and recovery state that our body really needs to recover well. So join with me. We're going to start to connect the breath to the movement. So take a big breath and inhale, sweep the arms overhead, and exhale, plie, bend through the knees, bring the arms down again, inhale, big reach, and exhale. Exhaling out through the mouth for the first couple rounds, and then we're going to start to close the mouth after this breath and start to breathe through the nose. Inhale. Turn the toes forward so they're parallel with each other, and then exhale, fold from the hips, coming into wide-legged forward fold. Let the head go. Shake it yes. Shake it no. Release any tension in the neck. And then take a breath here to inhale, halfway lift, find space through the vertebrae, and then exhale, free fold, coming back into maybe a little bit deeper stretch through the hamstrings. Take a breath to start to walk the hands over to your left foot, grabbing onto the shin or the ankle. Take a breath again here to lift. And exhale. Deepen and draw the chest in towards the thigh. Take a second to notice if your hips started to cock-askew and start to steady out the hips. Don't let the right hip drop too much as you're stretching over to the left. One more big breath here. At the bottom of your exhale, walk the hands back through center and over to the other side. So coming into the right side, holding onto the shin or the ankle. Take a breath here to lengthen the spine, steady the hips, and then exhale, deepen and draw the chest in. Nice long, steady breath in and out through the nose. One more big breath. Walk the hands back through center and inhale, rising up. Reach the arms overhead, maybe smile. And as you exhale, we're going to come to the top of the mat, bringing the feet together, our hips distance. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Gaze at the fingertips. Exhale, hinge from the hips, diving forward, folding in towards the legs. Take a moment here to inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Hands can come up to the shins. And exhale, folding back in. Bend the knees to plant the hands and stepping back into downward facing dog. Take a second here, a few breaths to bend through one knee and then the other. Pedaling out the feet to stretch through the calves, waking up the backs of the legs a bit more. Keep coming back to that audible breath in and out through the nose. Next exhale, both heels reach down towards the mat. Inhale the right leg high, stretching through the left leg a bit more. Three-legged down dog. Bend through the right knee, sweeping it up between the hands. And then we're going to drop the left knee down. From here, inhale, reaching up, low lunge. Exhale, folding over. Start to shift the hips back, keeping the toes pressing down. So we stretch to the top of the foot. Flowing here, inhale, low lunge, reaching up. Exhale, sweep the hips back, toes peel up this time. Getting a stretch into the hamstrings. Inhale, walk the hands back up, sweeping overhead, low lunge. Exhale, come again, sweeping the hips back and start to peel the toes up, holding here. We're going to hold for about 5 breaths, getting a bit deeper stretch into the hamstring. With each breath, start to find a bit of space in the vertebrae. And exhale, start to relax and deepen the stretch over the leg. Closing the eyes can help steady the mind. One more big breath. And inhale, walk the hands forward, coming up, hands to the thigh, can stay here. If you're able, reach the arms overhead, finding a deeper low lunge stretch through the hip flexor. Exhaling, hands behind you, interlacing the hands to stretch now through the chest and shoulders. Engage the wrists towards each other and start to deepen the stretch if it feels good. Pulling the hands off the back of the leg to deepen through the stretch of the chest. Keep the belly pulled in to protect the low back. And exhale, release. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, step back to downward facing dog. And inhale, left heel reaches high. Exhale, sweeping it through, plant the foot between the hands and lower the right knee down. Untuck the back toes. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, folding over. Shift the hips back, toes stay down this first time. Stretch the foot. Next time, inhale, arms sweep. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding down. Peel the toes back this time, deepening into the hamstring stretch. So starting to gradually wake up the backs of the legs, deepening our stretch as we start to cool down. Hopefully you've done a bit of movement and can get into deeper stretches safely now. Once we've warmed up the body, then it's nice to hold stretches a bit longer like we are now. So holding here for about 5 breaths. Again, use your breath to find space, and then the exhale to find deepening. Close the eyes if that feels okay for you. And surrender on every exhale. Walk the hands back forward and start to come up into the low lunge, bringing the hands behind the back, clasping the opposite way. So maybe it feels a little awkward. Begin to lift the hands off the back, stretching through the chest and the shoulders. Bottom of your exhale, gently unclasp the hands, plant the hands at on the other side of your foot, untuck the back toes and shift back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts high, bending through the knee, sweeping the knee behind the right wrist. Sweep the left foot back, starting to set up for pigeon. Before we settle into our pigeon, as the hips start to settle, we'll take advantage and stretch through the left quad. So plant your right hand either outside or inside of the right knee. Bend your left foot and reach the left hand behind to grab the foot. You can use a belt or strap here if you need to give you a little more space if your shoulders are tight. And then start to press the foot into the glute with the hand. Turning the shoulders back forward as much as you're able to. Release the foot gently. Find a bit of centering between the right and left leg. And exhale, folding over. You can stay on the forearms here and the elbows if that is feeling enough of a stretch for you. Or you can fold the hands, making a pillow for your head, deepening into pigeon. Steady, long breaths here. Steadying the mind with the long, steady breath that you take in and out through the nose. One more breath. Exhale, bring it to release. Walk the hands back up. Untuck the back toes and shift the right foot back to meet in downward facing dog. From here, left foot reaches high. Exhale, bend the knee, sweep it forward. Left knee behind the left wrist and stretch your right foot back. Begin to center the hips, bend through the right foot, and keep your left hand for balance as the right sweeps back to grab the foot for the quad stretch. Begin to press the foot into the glute. That's good. Gently release the foot. Again, find centering between the hips and exhale, folding over, coming to the elbows, or maybe reaching a little further forward to make a pillow with the hands, resting the forehead on the forearms or wrists. And begin to walk the hands back up. Gently sweep your right leg forward, reaching that legs in front, holding on behind the thighs if needed, or using the core to lower yourself down onto the mat with control. Hug the knees into the chest and cross your right foot over the left, or right thigh, as high up as you can, grabbing onto the shins here and gently pulling them towards you to stretch to the outer hips. And release. Plant your left foot down and scoot your hips over to the right slightly. Arms come out in a T or goalpost arms, and gently drop the knees over to the left, coming into a spinal twist. Getting a nice rotation through the spine, keeping the right shoulder on the mat. Stretching through the chest and the legs. And come back through center. Gently uncross the legs, crossing the left leg over the right as high up as you can, and holding onto the shins and gently guiding the knees in towards the chest. Feeling a stretch to the outside of the hips. And gently release. Plant the right foot down, keeping the left foot leg crossed over, and start to shift the hips gently to the left as the knees drop over to the right. Keeping the left shoulder on the mat. Get a nice rotation through the spine. Stretch through the chest. Continue to take deep, steady breaths, steadying the mind. Unwind, gently bring the feet back up, plant the feet, steady the hips and extend one leg and then the other. Reach the hands by your sides, palms facing up, and setting up for Shavasana, gently closing the eyes here. Staying here, we're going to take 5 deep breaths. If you can stay longer, I encourage you to enjoy this rest. But together we're going to inhale with the mouth closed for a count of 4, and exhale for a count of 4. Inhale 2, exhale. So continue with 4 counts in the inhales and exhale. This is breath 3, last breath. Inhale and exhale. Again, you can stay here for longer. I encourage you to. If you're ready, you start to roll through the ankles and wrists. Stretch the arms long overhead, and then gently rolling over to one side, coming into the fetal position. After a breath, gently begin to press yourself up, coming into a cross-legged, comfortable seat, closing the eyes if they open, bringing the hands at the heart center, taking a moment to bow in gratitude for the time you've taken to rest well. I thank you for joining me and hope that this practice really felt grounding and helped you to steady the mind by steadying the breath. Have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.